Welcome to Hudson Valley Forest. It has been way too long since we've been together. I'm sorry. We really had a curveball thrown at us with COVID-19 and it's kept Josiah and I apart. We haven't been getting it all on film, but we've been having a really good time in the outdoors. Andrew's got his first turkey ever. He shot a big old gobbler. We've been trout fishing, we've been foraging for all kinds of mushrooms. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you can check out all of our adventures and our delicious meals that we've been making. At the end of last deer season, I promised you guys that I would show you all these new venison recipes that I have prepared.
We're definitely gonna do more cooking. So in this off season, between deer season and when we're back out there trout fishing and turkey hunting in the spring, we're gonna put together a bunch of the venison recipes that we've shared on our Instagram account and show you guys how to do it.
So that's what we're doing today, and we're kicking it off with a venison kafta. Basically ground venison with all different kinds of flavors, especially some herbs and spices, real Mediterranean type thing. A lot of countries have their own variation. And the side dish is gonna be these beautiful little fairy tale eggplants that I'm gonna roast right before we serve it. And I look in the freezer and really all I have is ground meat left. And instead of just doing like burgers.
Of course, Brad does make a mean burger as well.
Want to mix it up a little bit, but still make it a seasonable meal. And this is a way to incorporate all your fresh garden vegetables. Mine's gonna incorporate a bunch of mint, basil, and other herbs from our garden. So we got the cooker going right now. I'm cooking with charcoal and some cherry nugs. Basically just nuggets to put on the grill. So you don't have to burn a whole piece of wood. It's gonna be a hot smoke, roasted with smoke, about 20-25 minutes on these. We're gonna serve it on naan with a homemade tzatziki sauce and a bunch of fresh garden vegetables that we just picked today. We were apart. Josiah and I are back together. He's my man behind the camera. I'm really excited about this. Happy to be back in front of the camera. I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm gonna start mixing all of our ingredients together to make this kafta. We have our venison right here. This is actually from the buck I shot last year with my bow. This is 2 pounds. I used to always package all of our burger in 1 pound packages. I realized that's not enough for the family, so I go with 2 pound packages now. So we're gonna start with 2 pounds of ground venison into our bowl. And then I'm gonna start mixing all the other ingredients in. So I always use an egg per pound if I'm doing like a meatloaf or anything like that. So I'm gonna stick with that for this recipe. We're gonna put in 2 eggs whisked into the meat. Put it right on top. Okay. We have all of our herbs. So the herbs that we're gonna be using today are basil that we just picked, mint that we just picked from the garden. We have some rosemary, we have our parsley, and then I also sauteed up some onion and garlic. And the onion and garlic is minced. Minced and just sauteed just a little bit. We're gonna put that in as well. I'm gonna save a little bit of that for the sauce. We're using a lot of herbs. So I mean, I got probably, I would say about a half a cup of each mint, parsley, and basil to go right in. Again, I'm gonna reserve a little bit of this for our sauce at the end. But I like this really herby. I've tried it a few different ways. I like the herbs in there. And although we're having what looks like a meatloaf, it actually ends up tasting more like summer. So the same with the mint and some chopped parsley. And then I got about 2 tablespoons of finely chopped rosemary. I'm gonna add, this is about, let's see, 1 cup, about a cup and a half of breadcrumbs. I'm using just panko. I prefer to use unseasoned breadcrumbs. I like to add the seasoning myself, but you could use any kind of breadcrumbs. You could use the Italian breadcrumbs, whatever. I prefer panko. I got some crushed red pepper, about 2 tablespoons crushed red pepper. I'd like to put in a little bit of garlic powder. I have the garlic in there, but I'm just gonna do a teaspoon or 2 of garlic powder. And then some sumac, which is a very traditional ingredient for kafta. I actually harvested this sumac myself. I love it. This lemony, tangy spice. It's great. We've talked about sumac. I'm going to put a few tablespoons in. We've talked about sumac in at least one other video.
You know what this is? Sumac, yeah. This is, we harvest this stuff. Oh, we got a whole bunch of it this year from up here. It goes good with trout, meat, anything. But we got a whole bunch this year.
I was saying there's that sumac that you can eat versus poison sumac. Everyone always thinks poison sumac, but the poison sumac is one that has the flowers on it. The ones with the big red cones is the kind you eat, and it's delicious. Oh. So now I'm going to mix all this up.
The best utensil to use are your own hands. Get them right in. The clean part.
Hopefully they're...
The best utensil to use is your own hands, and hopefully you just cleaned them. Get right in there. Please clean them first. Is your own hands, and hopefully you'll clean yours like I just did. Like this.
You feel like it's your hands, right?
Hey, it's your hands.
Yeah.
My hands are clean. I washed them, and now I'm going to mix all of our ingredients together. This is the time, like, this is a pretty basic one, herbs and spices and stuff. You could literally put anything you want here. I think that's why it's so cool to make this type of dish. You can put, which sometimes I do, Worcestershire sauce in here to get that tang. You could put mustard in here. You could put barbecue sauce. I mean, anything you want, anything that you would normally use for like a meatloaf or a meatball, flavors that you like. I'm gonna get this mixed up. I'm gonna add in our salt and our pepper. I'm not going crazy on mixing it. I'm just making sure everything gets blended together real good. As my watch smacks against the bowl again. I love using oversized bowls. I hate when you have a bowl that's too small and you're trying to keep stuff from falling out. I like having a big bowl. I get both my hands in there, really work it around. Obviously this is way bigger than I need, but for me it makes it easier, and I'm not making a mess either. Kosher salt. Looks like a lot, it's really not a lot. That's 2 pounds of meat right there. And some fresh cracked black pepper. I'm actually gonna, after I form this up, I'll put olive oil on the outside and salt and pepper again. And this final mix everything together. In this preparation, I'm gonna end up slicing this onto the naan with tzatziki, and I could always salt it then if I felt like it was a little undersalted. So I guess err on the side of a little less, fix it later for this versus this is just too salty. This could be a meatloaf. If it's an entree, you might make them larger. If you were serving them as an hors d'oeuvre, you might make these really small. I like to make them about the size of a burger, a 1/4 pound or a 1/3 pound or something like that. And I sort of like just try to give this like football-like sort of shape to it. I just like the way it looks. It's not just like a ball of meat. And I'll put them onto my custom Scrapwood Productions cutting board from my buddy Steve. Thanks, Steve. I love this cutting board. I don't love cutting on it because I feel like I'm messing with a piece of art, but as he reminds me, cutting boards are for using, not just looking at, so I said okay. So there we have 6, so they're 1/3 pounders. I'm just gonna put some olive oil and salt and pepper on them, and then we're gonna get these on the grill. The olive oil obviously will help the venison from sticking to the grill, very low fat content in the venison. It also will help get that nice brown crust that we want on the outside. I prefer to not even put these directly onto the grill. We use like a little rack that sits up that keeps it elevated just off the high heat, and it helps better circulate the air and the smoke around them so it doesn't get that direct heat. Now my fire is going to be on one side of the grill, in the grill, not off in the firebox, in the grill, but I'll cook these on the opposite side right under the smokestack, so the heat and the smoke are going to move around them out this way. Just doing a little salt and pepper. I'm not even worried about flipping them around. It's getting mostly covered there, and then some pepper. All right, so we are good to go. We're going to take these out and get them on the smoker. Really what inspired me to start making something like this is just how else can I use the meat that I have a different way than usual. The reason I started making these was because all of the fresh herbs that we have. All the basil and the mint that I would want and the parsley, all right here at hand, fresh. We'll shut that down and get about 25 minutes or so. I think we're all gonna enjoy it, right? We're like, this is really good. And I'm gonna go,
I'm gonna probably change something, you know? Like, why didn't I do this or that? We'll see. Meat's on. Now we gotta go inside and make our tzatziki sauce, which is gonna be super easy. You'll see all that in a minute.
1 minute and 11 seconds later.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and make our tzatziki sauce right now. So I'm just gonna start out with some Greek yogurt. I'm really not worried about how much I'm putting in, the portions of this. I mean, you can just mix it up and taste it and change it however you want, but I'm gonna make a little extra because I love it and I love having it in the refrigerator to put on everything. So just adding the yogurt in. We're not using any kind of flavored yogurt, obviously. This is just a plain Greek yogurt, 2% milk fat. I'm also going to roll the limes, getting broken up a little bit. I really like the fresh lime and the herbs with the yogurt. I'm gonna do 1.5. A lot of juice coming out of those. And then we got one of our cucumbers. I'm gonna cut the ends off. I'm gonna cut it in half. You don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna scrape out a little bit of the seed. The traditional tzatziki, you would grate the cucumber and then strain it to get all the moisture out so it didn't water down your yogurt. These aren't particularly crazy watery cucumbers, they're just these little ones, and I'm not gonna worry about it right now. The other thing I'm gonna do for this one, and I talk about changing stuff all the time, I normally always peel these, like you wouldn't see the green at all. I'm just gonna leave the skins on and see if it adds that little bit of extra crunch that in the sauce that maybe we'll like. I think we will. I'm gonna test it out. Even on camera, I'm going for it. Just making little slices. And then we'll chop it up. It's not tiny. It's still gonna be a little chunk in there, which is a little different, but since doing this, I found that I like this. I think everything we're gonna use, all the vegetables and everything, is from the garden. And I'm gonna start putting in the herbs. So we have basil right here, mint, parsley, our sauteed onion and garlic. Just folding it all in. Just put a little salt in there. I got a little bit of herbs left, I'm gonna just throw it in. Give it a taste. I like it. A little more crunch. So I'm gonna get this covered up and then just put in the refrigerator because I want this to be cold when we eat. I'm always saying, well, how's the contrast thing between the hot and cold? Like your food is crunchy and soft and spicy and sweet, right? You get the acidity in there, but also hot and cold is a big one too.
10 minutes later.
All right, we got our venison off the smoker. We grilled up our little fairy tale eggplants. They smell so good. Grilled our naan bread, and we took our yogurt sauce, our tzatziki out of the fridge, and we're ready to build one of these things. And I can't wait because I'm freaking starving. So I'm gonna just take our naan, set it on our plate over here. I'm gonna take one of the kaftas, and you don't have to slice it. I like slicing it up just to put it on here and sort of make like that pita sandwich type thing a little bit more. I'm actually gonna lay down some tzatziki first on here. Just right down the center. I'm gonna put, meat looks perfect by the way, so I'm gonna put a little bit more tzatziki on top because I love it. And then I'm gonna load it up with some veggies. I got some chopped romaine. You could easily just make this a salad, skip the naan altogether, and just make this a salad. I mean, and we got tomatoes. We got some of our chopped banana peppers from the garden that we picked earlier, some cucumber, a little bit of green bell pepper. I'm gonna hit it with this, a little bit of salt. My mouth's watering. Some eggplant there, and I can't help myself. I gotta try it right now. It's gonna be a big mess. It's a huge sandwich. It's so good, dude.
It really is so good. Oh my goodness.
These little beauties are super tasty. The fairy tale eggplants, I think they're the smallest of all the eggplants. They're so sweet. I only had them on the grill for a couple of minutes. All I did is olive oil, salt, and pepper on, that's it. It's delicious. It goes perfectly with this. Eggplant's a traditional side dish to the kafta. It's awesome. All right.
Bear with me 1 second here, okay?
I'm starving.
I think in like a professional show, you're supposed to only take one bite. I knew I got some on my face and my beard. That was inevitable. But that was totally a 2-bite try. Oh my god, it's really, really good. I can't wait for everyone to try it. We used meat that we harvested ourselves, vegetables that we grew, put this dish together. It's so simple. You can do it. Mix it up a little bit. Try new things. Figure out what you like. Man, that is good. I wish you guys could taste this because it really is that good. Make it for yourselves. So glad to be back doing this stuff. And we do have more coming your way. So this is just the first of the venison preparations. We're going to do a lot more. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I feel like you're laughing because I have stuff right on my face still. If you like what we did here today, give us a little like. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you guys.
We're just about to start, and the fucking fly goes.
Hold on 1 second. We got people talking. Or something.
I know this seems nuts, but we can totally hear you on the.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What do you hear us talking about?
Boys.
Josiah's the one who said it. He's got the thing on, not me. It's been way too long since we've been with you guys. We've had a heck of a season. COVID-19.
Try to not do the ums. I'd rather do
What?
do pauses instead of ums. Ums.
Okay,
yeah.
He was good at not doing the ums.
Mm-hmm.
But we're making you dinner, at least. But then once dinner's served.
I have to order pizza from Melissa.
Pizza?
Yeah, at 6:30.
I'll make
I told
pizza. We'll make pizza.
You. Okay.
Oh, we've done that one already.
See it right here.
Hello, hello. Why doesn't it sound normal? Is my thing messed up?
Is it
Oh,
weird?
where's the mic? Oh no, it's right there.
That seems okay. Talk normal though.
I'm talking as normal as I can possibly talk. This
Okay.
is how I talk. Welcome back to Hudson Valley Forest. We got a whole new look here, folks. There's no food, there's no hunting, there's no fishing.
Sorry.
Oh, just come right on
no,
in and
it's
start
fine.
talking.
It's
It's not like we're
fine.
filming a cooking show in here. Start over.
Another blooper.
Did I hit the... I don't know what I did. It's so weird. Okay.
And also, just had a really good job on being in front of the camera and not swearing.
Right?
Proud of you.
Look
I'm
at
very
me.
proud of you. That's amazing. For you, it's
I
amazing.
don't think you realize how much you actually curse as well. Oh, there's that wasp again.
Yeah. So
It's right above your head.
in here. Whoa! Oh my god. Big wasp, big wasp. Sorry about the camera, but there was a wasp attacking Josiah. Are you okay? Are you gonna make it? As soon as we start, all of a sudden there's a fly in the kitchen. Of course. Of course. And then a wasp. Where'd the wasp come from? Brad and Josiah are trying to do something. Let's go screw it up. They don't have enough challenges already.
Okay, I don't know what this thing is. I'm hoping I can kill it on camera.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get him?
No, but it was so close.
All right. Thank you. Later. Okay. I got something to do now. I got a date with this thing. All right.